Hello, my name is Rex Diamond of RXD Voices, and welcome to Mega March. So my first story that I wanted to talk about when it came to Mega Man was my first Mega Man game, which was Mega Man X4. So I originally played this game every time I went to my cousin's house, who was like in another city, and I really enjoyed it. I loved having all the upgrades that you got from bosses, the armor, just the gameplay overall. The music was great. I loved that. I think one of my favorite bosses was Slash Beast because the double slasher ability looked really cool. I mean, you got these sonic booms coming out of two different directions. Then you had Magma Dragoon, which was a really notable character and just super fun as an idea, especially since he had actual Street Fighter moves. The game was a bit of a challenge because at the time I didn't know what boss orders were, so I didn't know, okay, you want to start here and it's usually Magma Dragoon that you want to start at because of the fact that you have the mech to at least knock off half of his health and you can go in the lava for it. Other bosses I also really enjoyed was Web Spider. The level itself was just fun and really cool to see. Then you had Split Mushroom, as well as even battling Colonel. And then the power-ups you also got from each boss, like Electro Web, Double Slasher, Soul Body, and I think it was Guided Laser. So all really fun to use. One of the other key features of the game was the fact that you can play as Zero for the first time straight from the beginning, and then to every other X game as well. Not only that, you could also play as Black Armor Zero, which also was just like really fun in general. Game's harder playing as Zero, no armor upgrades, just visual effect upgrades, but other than that, playing as Zero was great. And when I finally got to do that, I had a lot of fun. It was just a bit challenging though. The main thing that stuck out the most for me about this game was the fact that me and my cousin could never beat Sigma. We could beat the first two phases, but the third and final phase, it took him months to get through. I probably came over like 2 or 3 times, and each time I came over, same answer. No, I did not beat Sigma. When I even got to borrow the game, which was a PlayStation 1 game with a blue top and then the bottom of the CD being all black, when I even got to borrow the game, I started straight from the beginning of the game, went through all of it, got the armor pieces and all of that, and even when I got to Sigma, oh, it was so difficult. Because first you got the first phase, which he's only weak to fire. That's the easiest part. You can dodge just about every time. You get through that part perfect. And then onto the second phase, which is a bit more difficult, and you usually need Electro Web for it, and it takes some getting used to. But the third phase is technically 2 bosses in one, or 2 forms in one. You had a giant mech form with this giant laser gun. I can't explain it either. And then you had this giant head that absorbs everything in the room, or no, it pushes you back first towards a wall of spikes, and if you hit that, it's over, and then after that it pulls you in. Dealing with that boss fight was just, it was, I can do it now, and then I found out what the weaknesses were, but it was frustrating, because once you took out the first part, whether it be the mech with the giant laser gun or the head, then you had to deal with the second part, and it was a long fight. Also too, after going through the first and second form, likely the second form being the form that did the most damage to you, once you get to that third part, you barely even have the health if you're new. The other thing that stands out to me the most about this game, other than that memory of how difficult it was to beat Sigma's third form and the game in total, was the voice acting, specifically Zero and his famous line of, "What am I fighting for?" Yeah, this game came out around a time where dubbing ADR wasn't a thing. ADR, audio dialogue replacement. So matching your voice to what the characters were saying on the screen or how their lips were moving in comparison to what is being said by the actor didn't exist at that time, or at least within that realm. So yeah, that was my first experience with a Mega Man game overall. But anyways, feel free to check me out at RXD Voices, where we are doing a playthrough of Mega Man Battle Network 5, an entire playthrough where all the dialogue is voiced by other voice actors. It's really fun, so check it out. RXD Voices. And we're also making memes too of it. Big thank you to Coleman X for having me on, and I'll see you guys later.